Guys, make sure to check out my Twitch. A link is down in the description below. Hope you guys enjoy this video. You guys didn't know, in 2 days, on the 24th of September, 2 days, we're gonna get a new patch notes. And within the patch is gonna be some nerfs, some buffs, mostly nerfs. But with that information, we're gonna go ahead and rank the top 5 healers. Let's go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the patch notes and we're gonna look over them. And then at the end, we're going to decide and rank them by which is going to be the best and whatnot and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and start with Shaymin. So what's happened to the rest of Shaymin is Surging Titan, Azurite rate, effectiveness reduced by 25% when engaged in combat with enemy players. And if you guys don't know what that is, actually, I don't even know what that is. What is that? Oh, it's the absorption. Okay, this is the best trait as the rest of Shaymin. That's getting nerfed. I'm actually kind of happy to see that's getting nerfed. What is getting nerfed by it? The effectiveness by 25%. Okay, I like that. I like that. I think it's really strong. And let's go on to the next one. Spirit Link PvP talent mana cost increased by 50%. Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot. Spirit Link PvP talent now has a 1.5 second cast time. Ooh. Guys, it's starting to look like Spirit Link isn't even going to be a viable talent to go anymore. One, you have to cast it into the mana cost is already going to be increased when it already costs a decent amount of mana. And the third nerf, oh god, Spirit Link redistributes 25% damage down from 35. So what's 35? Now it's 25%. Yeah, guys, it's looking like Spirit Link is kind of killed here.
For the first time.
Okay, next row, Rippling Waters, PvP talent, healing reduced by 33%. Ouch, that's pretty big, man. There's a lot of nerfs, actually. So they're nerfing a lot of Riptide and Spirit Link. Okay, so it totally seems like they're destroying that build. Riptide healing reduced by 15% when engaged in combat. Okay, so they're nerfing overall Riptide just in general, and they're nerfing Spirit Link hardcore to the point where it's not even viable to go at all anymore. So it's starting to look like as a Shaymin you would want to go into Undulation instead of, you know, the double Riptide, just because of the pure sake Riptide's getting nerfed. Maybe it could still work, but I don't know. Those are pretty juicy nerfs. That is pretty juicy nerfs. Let me know if you guys think those nerfs are good. I like the Spirit Link nerfs. I don't know if I like all the nerfs on the Riptide. I think Riptide needed to be nerfed in general, but I don't know to that extent. But again, if it ends up sucking, you know, the Blizzard, just go ahead and buff it, no worries. Okay, so Disc Priest, mana restoration reduced by 20% when engaged in combat was 30, so they're gonna have increased mana regen. Okay, so they're getting 10% of their mana back. Focus Will decreases damage taken by 10% per stack when engaged in combat with any player was 20. Okay, so I kind of like this one. I like that. I don't know if priests needed this. A lot of times, actually, when priests were going is because they were playing really aggressive and dispelling. You could actually, you know, last a while if you're a disc priest and have some mana left if you just didn't spam dispel. But I'm okay with it. I'm not really like butthurt or anything about this. But I think this is the real biggie right here. Priests, like, no one even targeted disc priests because they were so tanky because of this talent. So I'm really happy to see that's going to be reduced by 10%. I'm wondering if people will even still go disc priests after 10%. But yeah. All right, so let's try Holy Paladins. Mana regeneration reduced by 20% when engaged in combat with enemy players was 30. Were Holy Paladins even having mana problems, guys? Let me know in the comment section down below. From what I was seeing when I was facing other Paladins, there was actually Holy Paladins that were out-manaing me as a Restored Druid. So that's a little weird. Okay, Mistweaver Monks, let's take a look. Mana regeneration reduced by 20% when engaged in combat was 30. Okay, I'm fine with that. 10%. Okay, they went yeah. And then the Restored Druid, here's the juicy one, especially because I made Restored Druid. So this is going to affect my gameplay, my streams. Not my gameplay, but it's going to affect my streams and my videos and stuff like that. So let's check a look at it. Oh, by the way, look, if you guys look at this, the DPS of off heals are finally getting nerfed. So Feral and Boomkin, they're no longer going to be able to do as big as healing as they once were. Everything's going to be reduced by 25%. Oh, and Resto Affinity is reduced by 30%. Oh my god. Oh my god. So Swiftman's going to do 30% less, and Regrowth is going to do 25% less. I like that. I thought the heals from Feral Druid were a little bit too much. I'm hoping to see some enhancement Shaymin nerfs on the healing. I think enhancement Shaymin heals were a little bit too much. It doesn't look like they were, but it's okay. Okay, so let's get into the juicy stuff. Growth tending, which is one of our best traits if you're running, especially if you're running the Devil Swift Men build. Effectiveness reduced by 25% when engaged in combat and new players. Okay, I'm fine with that. Again, like I acknowledge that Resto Druids need a nerf in some kind of way. Like our healing output is absolutely through the roof. It's really strong. But our survivability seems really awfully weak. So I'm kind of scared to read the rest of these changes, but let's look at it. Focus growth. PB talent reduces the mana cost of 15%, was 40. Whoa. So we're gonna go more it seems like, which is okay. It's okay. Focus growth, PP talent increases the healing of life boom 15%, was 25. Okay, I'm not these three, I'm not like, it's not the end of the world for us, Druids, 100%. Oh, this one, boys. All Resto Druid healing reduced by 10% when engaged in combat with enemy players. I think Blizzard here is nerfing the wrong thing. I think they're nerfing the wrong thing. I think what made Resto Druids really strong, actually, was not our HOTS. It was not our HOTS. I don't think at all it was our HOTS that made us strong. I think our talent, Nourish, is what made us super strong. And if you guys don't know about Druids a lot, there's a PB talent. If you run in the Nourish, every time you cast Regrowth, it will apply an extra hot. So it will apply a missing hot, I should say. So if you growth, it'll apply rejuve, and if you do it again, it'll apply germination, which is second rejuve. And then if you do it again, it'll apply light bloom, and if you do it again, it'll apply a wild regrowth. And then once you have all the hots, once it applies all the hots, it will automatically crit. Your regrowth will crit 100% of the time. So here you are, you're saving a lot of mana, you're saving GCDs, and you're doing the most healing output possible. So I don't know if I really agree with this nerf of the 10% healing, overall healing nerf. I think they should have nerfed, honestly, Nourish. I think that was really strong. I think that's what made Druid strong. So I like, honestly, I'm kind of okay with the nerf. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of okay with the nerf because we still have Nourish, at least for me. I don't know if a lot of Druids played the Nourish playstyle, but I strongly recommend you do it. If you're really scared of these nerfs, trust me, go Nourish. You probably won't even feel this too much, but the only thing I'm worried about is Resto Druid survivability. Resto Druid survivability has been struggling this expansion. Yeah, we do a lot of healing output, but they're honest, you know, we're not able to do the big heals. So I'm kind of worried that they nerfed the wrong thing. Yeah, hoping everything's going to be okay. I think it should be okay. I think Druids should be good. I don't think, I saw a lot of Druids run Scenario Ward in Cultivation still. I don't think that's the way to go, especially after these nerfs. I don't think that's going to be the way to go, guys. I really don't. So if you're running that, make sure to go check out my guide and see what build I'm running and what a lot of other Druids are actually swapping into. And yeah, I think you'll like it. Okay, so what healers do we have? We have the Resto Druids, the Paladins, we have Priests, Shaymins, and Mistweavers. So those are our healers, and now I'm going to rank them. All right, so after looking at all of these, seeing what's going to be the top healer in my mind is going to have to be between two classes, actually. It's a little too hard for me to pinpoint what is going to be the strongest, but the strongest healers in my mind from looking at these nerfs is going to have to be Holy Paladin and Disc Priest. For the reasons why that Holy Paladin is going to be my number one is because their utility was so good, and with their wings up, they're able to do, like, they were able to top someone off with like one heal practically. They're really strong because their utility. Disc Priest, we're already looking in a pretty good spot. So the pure fact that they're getting a mana buff, allowing them to even play more aggressive, I think they're going to be really good. A 10% damage nerf or damage reduction taken, whatever you want to say, nerf, I don't think that's going to be the end of the world. I still don't think people are going to be targeting Priest even with that 10%. Disc Priest is going to be top healer in my personal opinion. Now, the third strongest healer I would have to say is going to have to be probably Resto Druid. Resto Druid is probably going to have to be the third strongest healer. I think we're going to really excel still. I think all the comps we were able to play, you're still going to be able to play them, like God comp, KFC if that's what you're running, RMD. I think those comps are going to still be really good and viable. Again, make sure to go check out my guide and to go, you know, see what the build to run. Because if you're running Cultivation and Center Ward, I think that 10% healing overall is really going to affect you. And now for the third healer, I'm going to have to say it's going to have to be Mistweaver. I'm going to have to say Mistweaver. I think Mistweavers were actually already pretty strong. Yeah, they went really fast, but Mistweavers felt like they didn't even need mana. As weird as that might sound to a lot of people, my personal opinion, I feel like Mistweavers didn't even need mana. I really, really, really don't. There's been games where we're like 16% dampening. Mistweaver would beat literally the entire game. Literally from almost the get-go, within like 4 minutes or whatever, they'd be right? They would go into the dampening. Boom. They're they're able to heal the outgoing oncoming damage onto themselves, and it felt like mana wasn't even a thing. And here is the last healer. Last healer is obviously going to be Resto Shaymin. I think these Resto Shaymin nerfs were definitely a little bit heavy. I think they were. I wish I would see a little bit not so much like the nerfs seem too big of a number, like 15%, 25%, 50%, you know, adding cast time on Spirit Link. I think those nerfs are very, 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 very heavy. I don't think it should have been that big. Maybe like, you know, 5 to 10% I would have been fine with, but yeah, that's a little too big. So those are, I said top 5, but yeah, I guess top 4, considering these are going to be the top healers. I would assume Resto Druid being 3rd or 2nd. Again, I don't know how. All right, screw the top 4. It's just going to be like this. This is the best healers in this order. Holy Paladin Disc Priest, number 1, 2 Resto Druid, 3 Mistweaver, 4 Resto Shaymin. I think those are going to be that way. Again, this is all personal opinion. We're not going to know until the patch actually comes out. And there's going to be a lot more patches, so expect that. And something I've been meaning to talk about this whole expansion so far, it feels like mana doesn't matter that much. It doesn't matter. Whether you're a Mistweaver, whether you're a Disc Priest, whether you're a Resto Druid, I feel like you're able, even if you're I feel like you're able to do heals. So I'm talking about like Disc Priest, Mistweaver. Even though if they go they're able to still throw out heals, and it just feels really weird. And Resto Druids and Holy Paladins and Resto Shaymins, they don't go They don't go so mana doesn't really matter to them. The only way a Resto Shaymin a Resto Shaymin could go is if he's spamming Purge. And if he does go he's not going to be able to spam Purge, and he's still going to be able to do a lot of healing. So with Riptides and, you know, his healing surges and healing waves, they're still going to do a lot. So yeah, that's something I would like to talk about. I wanted to make a video about it. I actually had a whole podcast of me and Savix talking about the healing and mana not feeling like it matters anymore. We would actually get into the games. I'll show some clips, but there was plenty of games where the healer would be dry. He would just be and somehow he was able to out heal everything, and it didn't even make that much sense to me. And I think that's going to be a problem. Hopefully with these changes, it actually is going to be a little bit better, but let me know what you guys think. This video was more of opinion based, as you can see. I think most videos are going to be opinion based, and just let me know what you think of the video, or give me your opinion in the comment section. For the love of God, don't destroy that dislike bar too hard. I know you guys are gonna fucking wreck that bar, that dislike bar. You're just gonna annihilate it. I know it, but you know, just let me know what you think. This is you know, I try my best to try to reach out to you guys and what you think and stuff like that, and I do the best to tell you what I think. And you know, if I know something you guys don't, I try to tell you. If you know something I don't, tell me. I try to create a very friendly vibe around here. At least I try to. Recently, actually, I don't try to create a vibe. That was a lie. Don't listen to me. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to click that like button, and you're probably gonna destroy the dislike, but click that like button and subscribe, and you know, get out there and punch some ups.